Welcome to the Sunday debrief. This is the show where we review all the good stuff from Saturday's football matches. And there were some good ones. Apologies, you've just caught me finishing my breakfast. Brighton, Everton, Leeds, Arsenal, Wolves, Bournemouth, Chelsea, West Ham, Liverpool, Newcastle. 5 games to go through with the XG plots, the average position maps, the shot maps, all the good stuff as we help make informed FPL decisions moving forward. Game week 25, not too far ahead. Game week 26, it's midweek, it's Tuesday deadline, isn't it? So we've got 2 game weeks coming up in the space of 10 days, 9 days. Very excited for that. So guys, shout out to everyone watching live. Shout out to everyone watching on catch up. If you are watching on catch up, you can play along. I'm going to timestamp. If you're only interested in Chelsea, West Ham, you might want to skip forward, or you might want to stay for the ride as we go through all 5. You're a content-making machine. I pressed go live a little bit too early as I was still, finishing my sandwich. Morning, G. Morning, scoundrels. Hello to all of you. Chelsea, West Ham was such a good game. It was. Do you know what? Liverpool, Newcastle was too. They're my 2 favourites to review. And wait till you see the Arsenal dominance as well. Sigurd's in the house. Morning, Sigurd. Yeah, Liverpool were very good. Freddie as well. Thank you, Freddie, for sharing on the WhatsApp group. Best show on YouTube is a football show, not just an FPL show. I pride myself on that. If you're on mobile, hit the hype button. Oh, can you do that on a live? That'd be awesome. I don't know what that does fully, but that'd be great. Morning, G. Another night shift, another early stream. But 4 days on. Love that. 4 days off, rather. I'm interested in how Virgil became the first defender to hit DEFCON with only clearances. Do you know what, Kieran? Virgil van Dijk was on DEFCON. No, sorry, he was on 7 DEFCON, I think 30, maybe 35 minutes. So I was like, oh, yeah. My sandwich was freshly baked sourdough. So, yeah, I treated myself. I don't usually have a sandwich for breakfast, but because we had sourdough, and then it was cheese, lettuce, and a chipotle mayo. Oh, and garlic olives. Very garlicky olives, actually. The fridge is pretty bare. I can't hype in the live. Yeah, maybe hype's just for the later ones. Morning, G. Watching this while having my Sunday breakfast. Your 13 clearances, 13 DEFCON. Wow. Guys, are you on a green or red arrow? Get voted in the poll. Let's get started with our game, shall we? Where shall we start? Look, I'm going to probably get to the Chelsea and Liverpool games in a minute. But first, let's start with Arsenal. Arsenal comments, please, only if you want me to bring them up. So let's get started. I can't quite believe Arsenal did this to Leeds yesterday. When I saw 4-0, so I didn't watch the game. I've since watched the highlights, but when I saw 4-0, I was like, okay, I'm really interested to see the XG here. Did Arsenal really clock lots of XG? And did Leeds really have nothing? Good Lord. Very few go to Ellen Road and dominate like this. In fact, you won't see an XG plot like this at Ellen Road all season. Complete dominance. Remember, like Chelsea struggled at Leeds recently. Timber always missing chances. Is Saka a sell? Saka in the bin. Yeah. Let's talk about Saka, shall we? Let's talk about Saka. So I did have a graphic on Saka. Hang on, let me get it. I've got an update on the Saka injury that could be useful for some, just to see it. Where is my Saka update? Gosh, I'm slow this morning, aren't I? Here we go. Yeah, so the injury report, FPL Physio just reports, like, based on what he saw, as in it was recorded when he pulled up, it looks like a muscle injury and it could be a couple of weeks. But then Arteta has said he had a little niggle. He wasn't comfortable to start the game, so immediately we made the decision to make the change and bring in Noni. He's not going to tell us much. The good news for Saka owners is you get Tuesday, you get another update. If he's in the squad, he won't be. And then maybe we get training ground photos, maybe, but Arsenal are so good at covering that. So look, we're going to have to make a call on Saka, and it's really tough because if Arsenal win, I think a lot hinges for me on what Arsenal do on Tuesday night. If Arsenal beat Chelsea, they therefore get the double game week in game week 26. Selling Saka there feels really risky because even if he's out of 25, you get a double in 26 for him. However, if Arsenal lose to Chelsea and Chelsea qualify for the final, and you're not going to get a double out of Saka anyway, and we don't know if he's going to feature in 25, let's assume we don't, then he's probably a sell. Now, is Madueke the person we bring in? Well, let's have a look at how Arsenal played with Madueke yesterday, because I'm not sure Madueke is. I think that's a really easy option. I don't love it. I really don't love it. Guys, Madueke is flaky at best. He had a good game yesterday. And a lot of these shots, Madueke was involved with the shot or the assist. 14 shots to 3, high XG, still over 1 XG from set pieces. Madueke even took some of the set pieces. Literally like for Saka. And he did look good. But Madueke blows hot and cold. It wouldn't surprise me if Madueke he was on half the corners, just like Saka was, right? He takes the in-swingers and Rice the other side. And look at Madueke's average position map. This is a Bukayo Saka average position map. We love this average position map. This is Mo Salah in his prime. This is Saka on top of his game. This is high and wide with no defensive responsibility, everything going down the right-hand side. Madueke, on paper, feels like a like-for-like replacement. Much cheaper, we know will be the 11. The problem with Madueke is he's always going to get early subs. Even when Madueke starts football matches, don't expect them to finish them. And I just think if you've got Saka, you've probably not got Rice. And Rice has blanked in the last 4 games. Don't get me wrong, but Rice hasn't been clocking the returns of late. But Rice is a much better pick long-term than Madueke. So look, in the games Madueke's started, 60 minutes versus Leeds, 56 versus Forest, 66 versus Bournemouth, 60 versus Brentford. The most minutes Madueke has played all season, he's had 188, 178. So he's had an 88, a 78, but then all of the other starts are 60s and 50s. That concerns me massively, because if he's having a bad game, he's the first to come off. And if he's having a good game like yesterday, he's still the first to come off. Honestly, I don't think Madueke's a buy. I'd go to Rice. I'd go to Rice straight away. Now, Rice's returns of late, sure, they've not been great, but let's not forget Rice is one of the best performing players in FPL this year. So yesterday he had a 3-pointer. And again, his DEFCON was 9. He needs 12. And the reason he's had blanks recently is he's not been hitting his DEFCON, right? So in his last 4 games, he's had a 9, a 10, an 11, and a 9. He needs 12. But before that, he gets to 14s and he will get DEFCON. He's been unfortunate not to get a couple more DEFCONs. But goals and assists will come. Declan Rice this season is a 90-minute man that takes a lot of the set pieces, the direct free kicks. He has 4 goals and 7 assists. Just because of recency bias, let's not pretend Madueke is a better pick than Rice, even if Saka's out. It's Rice all day long for me. So look, let's have a look at some other stuff. Thank you all for your comments on Saka. Do we hold Saka? Yeah, I've just addressed that. It depends on what we see on Tuesday, I think. In terms of the bonus yesterday and the DEFCON, well, Zubimende, Madueke and Gyökeres all with bonus, but Gabriel, 13 DEFCON. We love you very much. Zubimende and Rice just missing out there. And then when we look at Leeds, I don't think we're buying Leeds players, but I did call out James Justin a couple of streams ago, and then he went and scored the next week. Just James Justin does get forward, and they're playing with 2 right backs with Bogle and Justin. It's almost like a back 4, back 5 hybrid. And Bogle and Justin both getting forward down that right-hand side. So what are we doing with Saka, guys? Before we move on, if you own Saka, what's your plan? I guess most of you are waiting and seeing. I'll do a poll right now. As I'm doing that, guys, I would love you to consider hitting the like button. For the first time this morning, just want to ask for you to hit the subscribe button too if you're not already subbed. That'd be awesome. Likes and subscribes would really help me out. So let's do a poll. Are you on a green arrow? 68% of you are, but we don't care much for mid-game week ranks. We shouldn't overthink mid-game week ranks. There's a lot of football to be played on Sunday and a lot of captaincy in play as well. But what to do with Saka is a big one. So if you own, are you selling, unsure, holding, or don't own? I know a lot of you own Saka. This will be interesting. Don't own Saka and was never planning on owning him. Wow, nice. Gabriel's great. When we go back to that XG plot, the shot map, you can see how much XG comes from set pieces. Look at Arsenal here. 2.3 open play XG, but 3.66 overall. They still clock 1.36 XG. If they're clocking an XG every game from set pieces, you're just going to keep getting Gabriel goals. It's so easy. And Gianni will give away some memberships. Thank you for the reminder. I've got 5. Hang on. Let me just check. I've got my allocation of 10. Yeah, I have. It allocates every first of every month. So yeah, I will give away some memberships today as well, guys, to 5 channel members. to 5 subscribers. Got to drop off the daughter to show rehearsals, catch up. Thanks, little Miss FPL. Have a good day. So sheer dominance from Arsenal. We like them moving forward. I do think next week, by the way, that's a high ceiling game. Sunderland at home is a proper high ceiling game. Sunderland have been great this season, but Xhaka's still likely to be out. And on the road, Sunderland have been rubbish. Amazing at home, terrible. Yeah. Best Arsenal midfielder this season till you get injured is Xhaka. I genuinely would be looking at maybe even captain your Arsenal asset next week. Like honestly, if I could even consider captain Declan Rice next week, I think it's a big game for Arsenal. I really like it. Let's see how they look on Tuesday, of course. And let's move away from Arsenal. Let's do Wolves Bournemouth. Guys, I'm getting to the Liverpool game. I'm getting to the Chelsea game very, very soon. But hands up if you bought a Bournemouth defender. Honestly, you got so lucky. I didn't, and I'm gutted because I nearly went Hill. If you watched my content last week, I was between Hill and Maguire. I went Maguire. Hill and Senesi, both getting DEFCON, both getting clean sheets. Boy, were they lucky. Honestly, I was gutted when I saw the result and I was listening on the radio and I was like, okay, Bournemouth have kept the clean sheet. Damn. But then when I see this XG plot, I look back and go, do you know what, Gianni? It was a fine decision backing against Bournemouth defence because they've just conceded 2 XG to Wolves. How did Wolves not score? They hit the woodwork, a ton of chances. They outplayed Bournemouth at times, and they still didn't score. Story of Wolves' season for much of it. But yeah, fair play if you got Hill, fair play if you got Senesi. You take those points. But moving forward, knowing Bournemouth defence concedes this at a chance, and that's what put me off them in the first place. Don't expect too many clean sheets. I think you'll get a lot of DEFCON though, and I still think Hill and Senesi have been great buys. 17 shots to 9. Wolves relying on set-piece threat, to be fair, and causing a nuisance from set pieces. Wolves are very good at set pieces, but yeah, and Bournemouth aren't good at defending set pieces, as we highlighted last week. But yeah, the FPL gods have played a part in making us sell and invest in other differentials. We've got this. It's totally bros. Mane's a great second sub option. Mosquera hit the post. We knew it was coming. Mane, second sub, by the way, I love. If you own Mark Guiu or Krupi Jr. even, I do think Mane's the best. And I know this was a game in which Krupi scored, but Krupi still gets subbed. Krupi Jr. is playing behind Evan Nilsson. He's kind of playing the Kluivert role. Semenyo has been replaced by Adley, who looks good. And they've got the new Brazilian kid that came on and scored, and he's going to score a lot of goals. Bournemouth are a fun attacking team. And the defenders get DEFCON. Alex Jimenez still playing out of position, high and wide on the right. He is a 4.5 million defender. Even usually you'd see that. I still think you go Senesi and James Hill. And I love that Swell has just mentioned Hugo Bueno because we're going to talk about him. So, DEFCON, as always, the Wolves centre mids get them. And Senesi and Hill scrape through with a 10 and an 11. Impressive. But Wolves are a team we might just be investing in, and I know that sounds mental, but if Arsenal do beat Chelsea or qualify to the EFL Cup final, they get the draw, they get the win, and we get a Wolves double game week. Nottingham Forest and Arsenal, it's not great, but to have Mane on the bench, Mane is a 90-minute man that clocks good numbers, and remember, many might bench boost before they wildcard. You might need that dead spot of Mark Guiu replaced with Mane for a bench boost in a few weeks' time. And if you do, playing him in game week 26 for a double feels fine. Average position is good. There's a lot of good stuff with Mane. He even got 7 defensive contributions. And look at the bonus point system. No goal involvement for Mane. He's still 17 BPS. As soon as you get an assist or a goal from Mane, you're getting bonus points because he's good. He's really good. So yeah, I like Sartu Nikolai, and he's only 0.2 more than Dubravka. Agbadou pump for the double. If I'm going for a defender, I'm going to Hugo Bueno. Wolves have been playing with a back 5 at times, quite often a back 5. It's sometimes a 4, sometimes a 5. But Hugo Bueno down that left-hand side, who's on a lot of the set pieces, looks good if you wanted a cheap defender. But I think Mane will be the Wolves player we buy. But look, are we going to be sort of concentrating on Wolves assets? Probably not. Probably not. We're going to move away from Wolves. I'm rattling through the first few because I want to spend time on Chelsea. I want to spend time on... I definitely want to spend time on Liverpool as well. Brighton and Everton. Moyes said we deserved the point take away that Beto goal with the big XG jump at the end, and that is a very one-sided football match, especially first half. I mean, didn't Brighton come out the traps well? Look at all that XG in the first 20 minutes. Bang, big chance. Bang, big chance. Everton did nothing. They didn't even have an attempt on goal till the second half, according to this XG plot. That's mental. So close to Verbruggen for big points. So close to Van Heck for big points. I feel for you. I feel for you guys because that was a late clean sheet wipeout and you're getting bonus with Verbruggen as well. So Brighton are still good, but they're not picking up as many points as they should. I'm interested in always having an eye on Brighton because they're a team that I always feel can clock good XG. In terms of the shots, it was 11-7, sorry. Some set piece reliance, but look at what's changed about Brighton in recent weeks. Firstly, we have to pick out that Kadioglu inverts, right? He's a 4.5 million defender, but he often plays as a midfielder. Secondly, Ayari in the middle of the park has been Brighton's, I want to say, best player this season. He's certainly very close to being Brighton's best player. Now, no one talks about Ayari. He's like the forgotten man. He's like, well, he's not even forgotten. He's like the man that never existed. He's 4.8 million, Ayari. He's 1% owned. And he's good for points. Again, an assist yesterday. So let me just go through his points in the last few weeks. Remember that Ayari is 4.8 million, right? If I take the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game weeks, he has returned in 6 of them. He's returned in 6 of 7. 5, 4, 12, 5, 0, didn't play, 11, 5. So in 6 of 7 that he's played, no, sorry, let me rephrase this. In his last 6 matches that he's played, he's returned in all of them. Why does no one have Ayari in their team? I mean, I'm guilty of this too, but if you're looking for a cheap midfielder, surely, like, he gets DEFCON. He's got 82 points this season. Like, he's very good for points. He's had some big returns. Like, he's only got 2 points less than Gakpo. He's only got 4 points less than Trossard, or 6 points less than Sharda, 7 points less than Soboslai. Yeah. I mean, his DEFCON's 9, 13, 9, 12, 14, 11. Like, he's always there or thereabouts with DEFCON. Remember, he needs 12. I like Ayari. And Cruci's now in the 11. Problem with Ayari is who to remove. Well, it's if you have like a Lewis Miley like me, right? Of course, you're not removing, for Kieran, you're not selling those players, but Kieran, not many have got a 5-man midfield like that where the cheapest player is Enzo. Most have an Elliot Anderson or below. I've got a Lewis Miley. Ayari could be my Tavernier replacement. Perfect. Like that. Douglas Luiz, let's see if he's on pens. Lefay, Pascal Gross, by the way, is back, isn't he? Pascal Gross, good for points. He'll be all right for DEFCON, and he could be on the pens. We don't know who's going to have pens, but Pascal Gross, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And Matoma's caught my eye in recent weeks too. A little bit more expensive than Ayari, but still cheap for Matoma. He's had a price drop this season. So look, Gross gets the bonus. Beto, being a forward who scored, also gets some. And De Kuyper getting a run of games as well, maybe at left back. Let's see how that continues. Baleba with his DEFCON. And Garner, arguably the best DEFCON midfielder in the game this season, along with Elliot Anderson. Garner's been a DEFCON beast. Yeah. Addy from Bournemouth's looking good. Yeah, that was Bournemouth. We'll stick with the Brighton comments. But yeah, I mean, Everton. Guys, what do we notice about the Everton defence? Who's going to give me the line? Who's going to give me the line of the Everton 4 defenders? What have the Everton 4 defenders all got in common that played yesterday? Branthwaite, Michael Keane, Tarkowski, and O'Brien. Who's going to get it first? It's pretty obvious, but it's so David Moyes. Yeah, straight away. 4 centre-backs. Yeah, leaky. They're all over 6 foot as well. 4 centre-backs. I mean, they've had injuries. Keane, and they got injuries at fullback, but still, you'd kind of expect 4 centre-backs to be a bit more defensive and not allow Brighton to have so many big attempts. But look, the big news here is Michael Keane is back. He's in a lot of teams still. Dewsbury Hall is back. could have scored yesterday, Dewsbury Hall. And Ndiaye is playing on the left as we knew he would. With no Grealish, and Ndiaye on the left makes Ndiaye, I think, a better asset. Although they look a little bit short up front. Tino Barry obviously got the nod yesterday, scores the goal. Mackham was devastated when he saw the late equaliser. Yeah, that's so FPL. Minter has disappeared for Brighton. I don't think we're buying Everton assets. And I'd probably look at Iari, maybe if you want a really cheap Brighton. And I still think Van Heck's a good shout because he gets a lot of the points. But look, guys, I want to move on to the two juicy games. Most of you are not interested in buying Brighton and Everton and Leeds players. So that's why we're not spending long on them on the debrief. And sometimes the Saturday football is full of the big teams playing. This week, less so. But now we are going to get to the Liverpool game, which is huge for FPL, and the Chelsea game, which is huge for FPL. Before we do that, guys, I would like to give away some channel memberships. So please do spam the chat, and 5 of you will win a membership. I'm doing it before the end of the stream. So in the next 30 seconds, 5 of you will win. All you've got to do to win, and I don't get to pick, you've got to like, you've got to subscribe. If you do those 2 things, you've got a chance of winning a channel membership. Now, channel members get loads of extra content and priority comments, and I'll answer all your questions at any time. So guys, hit those buttons, and 5 of you in the next 15 seconds will win a prize, and then we'll move on with the other games. If you're watching on catch up and you really want to be a member, you can scan the QR code or click the join button below. Membership gifting, I can now give away 5 channel memberships that I couldn't do yesterday because I'd used my allocation and it was they reset on the 1st of the month, and today is the 1st of February. Hopefully 5 of you have won that. I can't see it because it's moving too quick, but I have hit the button. If you won, congratulations. Let's move on to, should we go Chelsea West Ham first or Liverpool first? Let's do Chelsea West Ham. I want to do Chelsea West Ham. Chelsea West Ham. Here we go. Congrats, Dylan. Dylan won. Love that. What a football match. I think we're going to see a lot of this under Rosenior. In a nutshell, the things I thought we would see from Rosenior, and it's absolutely playing true. 3 big points here, right? We are seeing sloppy defensively and conceding plenty of chances. I think that is the case with Rosenior football. I think we're going to concede a lot of chances. We're seeing a fun attack that creates lots. And crucially, number 3, we're seeing players that want to play for the manager. He's good man manager. Unique methods, but seeing the reactions, seeing his chemistry with the players on the bench. Oh, and number 4, there's a 4th point here. He will make subs and he will rotate heavily between games. He will use his squad in-game with substitutions and pre-game with rotation. I think it was 7 of the starting 11 was different to the Napoli game. And I absolutely said all week after Napoli, Joao Pedro won't start versus West Ham. And I told people he's still a good pick on wildcard. And actually, there's a few in the group now that are on wildcard, like Wazza, that I said, no, still pick Joao Pedro Wazza because he's great long-term, but he won't start versus West Ham. Those that bought Joao Pedro, congratulations. You just got a big score and it didn't matter about his minutes. We'll talk about Joao Pedro in more detail and we'll talk about this football match. But the one guy that I've said forever will get all the minutes is Enzo. Yeah, the memberships have been given because Enzo's a minutes monster and he's the leader in the team. And he doesn't have history of injuries where he can't play twice a week. Like Reece James, like Cole Palmer. 14 shots to 11. Look, West Ham started well. I think they're in trouble, though. I think they're in trouble because, again, vulnerable at the back. Captain Enzo got me some points. Well played for captain him. He was class. Yeah, Enzo, guys. Do we own Enzo? The Saka poll, by the way, 28% selling. Unsure, 20%. Holding, 9%. Ooh, okay. Don't own 43. Interesting. I'm going to end that poll and we're going to do an Enzo poll. Let's do an Enzo poll. What are your plans with Enzo? So, Enzo plans, because I bought him 3 game weeks ago and he's returned in all of them. He's been brilliant. Own already. Buying soon. Not interested. Get voting on Enzo. It's just such an obvious buy, I think. And remember, when Cole Palmer's not on the pitch, who gets the pens? Enzo, and he's good at them. So we started yesterday with a left side of Garnacho, Hato, and Badiashile. Right? Look at that left side. Left centre-back, left wing. West Ham caused all sorts of problems down that right-hand side, okay? A lot through Wan-Bissaka and a lot through Bowen. So I'm coming to that. So what did Rosinha do at half-time? He bought off Garnacho, he bought off Hato, and he bought off Badiashile. Big moves. Big moves. And fair play. So we saw already a substitution. Like they would already use Pedro Neto early for Gittins, half an hour in. And then he made 3 subs at half time. And boy, did it change the game. Gary Neville on commentary said the goal changed the game as soon as Joao Pedro scored the header. I disagree with that slightly. What changed the game before the goal, a couple of minutes before, was the subs. Can you blur out Garnacho, Badiashile, please? Triggering. And yeah, I think Hato was fine, but Bowen was, Hato is a left centre-back by trade, not an out-and-out left-back. So, and Bowen's a very good player. But they had him on toast. And that Garnacho doesn't defend, doesn't work back and help support. So you're left isolated if you're Hato. And Badiashile is useless. So fair play. What we're learning from Rosinha is he'll rip it up and start again. If you've got a Chelsea player benched, and it's a good fixture like West Ham. Joao Pedro owners yesterday, yeah, you would have been gutted he's not in the 11, but you must have thought, he could come on and get me something. And he absolutely did. Cole Palmer started as the 10, moved out to the right-hand side. In the second half, we saw Enzo supporting. We saw Joao Pedro as a 10. We saw Delap as a 9. We saw Cole Palmer on the right. This team is multi-dimensional. It's multifunctional. And he'll absolutely not restrict a player to a certain zone of the pitch. He'll move them mid-game. He'll change formations. He brought Reece James on late. A brilliant performance in the second half and a terrible first half. But I don't think we're going to see Garnacho, Hato and Badiashile down that left-hand side in Premier League games. Take a moment to discuss this run of form, by the way. 3 goals, 2 assists, 30 points for Joao Pedro. That's a good run of form. Is he a must-buy? Absolutely not. Is he a good buy? Of course he is. Of course he is. We've spoken about the mid-game substitutions. Enzo did get booked for taking his top off, but he's still got points. He's still got bonus points. If he doesn't get the yellow card, he gets closer to 3 bonus. I think he still would have ended on 2. He didn't get the DEFCON. He got. I think it was 7 DEFCON. And Caicedo and Chalobah did get DEFCON, but then obviously Chalobah's -1 for 2 goals conceded. So wasn't great, and Chalobah feels like an expensive own. The fixtures are there, but it's an expensive own if Chelsea are going to concede as many chances as they do. And Chelsea at home to West Ham should not be conceding 1.72 XG, should they? No. By the way, how funny was that at the end of the game if you watched? Traore went for Joao Pedro. Went into Hulk mode. And fair play, because Joao Pedro, I'd have run a mile here. He's sort of a little bit hesitant, but he sort of stood his ground. I was like, I would not be standing my ground to that. And then after Todibo comes in and pretty much tries to grab his neck and eat it. It was a very physical battle at the end of that football match. Could have seen more red cards than we did. I don't think he did run away. He was a bit nonchalant with it. I would have run away. He sort of stepped to the side a bit. It was very funny. Dylan says, show who is preferred in the first team. Unfortunately, we have another 3 easy fixtures, so I, for one, will switch Joao Pedro for Ekitike in 27. Yeah. And look, the best entry point for me for Joao Pedro is probably 26, no? Because 25 away to Wolves, fine, you could buy. But let's assume Joao Pedro plays 90 against Arsenal. He could play Delap versus Wolves. But I like 26, 27. It's 2 homes versus Leeds and Burnley. I think he's going to start. Good to see him play number 10, by the way, with Delap. That kind of worked. West Ham are in trouble. They are starting to score goals. Fair. Would I be buying a player like Bowen? Absolutely not. By the way, Bowen got subbed yesterday. I was surprised he didn't bring Somerville off. I'm like, is Bowen injured? Why did he sub him? If you're going to take a wide forward off, you take Somerville off before Bowen. It's Burnley away next, but Man United, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Fulham. It's not an easy run coming up. And even for Burnley, there's no guarantee they score goals. you'd say there's some their January business has been all right. Castellanos looks all right. Pablo looks all right. Somerville's playing well, but yeah, we're not buying West Ham players. Yeah, Bowen did get a nasty tackle. I think that was probably an injury, and he'll be fine because he's a warrior for next week. But regardless, he's listed as an expensive forward. Like Joao Pedro, you could buy Joao Pedro for Bowen. You could probably find the funds for Ekitike. Bowen's not a hold for me. Big game versus Burnley is a classic 6-pointer, isn't it? So look, that's Chelsea. Best Chelsea players to buy right now. It's pretty obvious, Joao Pedro. Would you buy Cole Palmer right now? He did get 90 yesterday, which is a good sign for him to see that he can at least get 90. I just think Enzo for guaranteed minutes and 4 million cheaper. You just go Enzo. If you want both, if you want double Chelsea attack, go Enzo and Joao Pedro. I just don't see Palmer as a buy. And I know the 90 minutes is attractive. And I know he will get some points, but he'll also miss a lot of minutes. And I just feel like I want guaranteed minutes. Now, sure, if we're selling Saka, we can afford Palmer. Is it a risk we want to take? Well, if he's benched versus Arsenal and you think you get the Wolves game and then you think you get the Burnley and Leeds home fixtures, sure, buy Palmer. But as things stand right now, I feel like it's too risky. I might change that opinion on Tuesday night, though. If it's half an hour on Tuesday night, maybe attempted. If Saka was confirmed out, you make that switch. It's the obvious switch to make in terms of money, right? Saka and Palmer are about the same price. I mean, what's everyone selling Saka for? He's currently 10 million. What's Palmer? 10.4, I'm going to guess. He is 10.4. So, yeah. You can probably make it work. We'll move away from Chelsea. Oh, and by the way, final note on Chelsea. Are you buying Chelsea defenders? Sanchez, Chalobah. If you're on wildcard, you may have doubled up. I think they'll still keep some clean sheets, but they're just going to concede way too many chances. Let's talk Liverpool versus Newcastle. Now, the XG between the post stuff I always use isn't up yet because it was a late game. It was an 8 o'clock kickoff. And I watched the first half of this and then had to go to bed. I was struggling to keep my eyes open, but it was an impressive first half. Newcastle were really good for the first half an hour. Look at the momentum chart. Newcastle in white there. All the chance going to Newcastle. And then Newcastle scored. And Liverpool just went, we're not having that. And it was unbelievable. Liverpool didn't do anything for the first 30 minutes. And then 2 goals in like 5 minutes. Ekitike. How is Malik Chow giving him that space? A lot of centre-backs will rightly show players wide. Especially a player like Ekitike that's fairly one-footed. So they're like, show him on his left foot, show him on his left foot. But Malik Chow forgot one thing, that Ekitike's acceleration is as quick as I've seen in the Premier League this year. He goes from 0 to 100 like that. So yes, he's very fast and pace is scary, but you know what's scarier for centre-backs? Usually it's not out-and-out pace, it's acceleration. It's how quick are you over 10 metres from us. And he does. He holds the ball up. He looks like he's not sure what he's going to do. He's going to hold it up. Is he going to go right? Is he going to left? Is he going to take a shot from distance? And he knocks and runs it. And Malik Chow goes, oh my God, why have I shown him the outside? If you've not seen the goal, go watch it. It's absolutely underrated centre forward play. There's very few players in the Premier League. Centre forwards, I might even argue, I don't think there's a centre forward in the Premier League that could have done that yesterday to get a shot away without Malik Chow getting a touch. That was Thierry Henry-like. Haaland's not that quick off the mark. Like Chow, against most centre forwards, you go, that's quite smart defending. You push him on his left foot, you're leaving him wide. You're in distance, and Malik Chow's quick, and you can get a touch. If he does drag it across you onto his left foot, or he end up toe poking it on his right foot because he's one-footed, Malik Chow can get a stud on that ball and it goes out for a corner, or he gets a block in. Not Ekitike. I thought that was insane. So well played, Ekitike. And look, Ekitike's been due a haul. I've said it for weeks. Stop selling Ekitike. I said it loads on my deadline stream. I've got loads of questions. Ekitike out for Joao Pedro, and that was worked out fine. But as I said, do not sell Ekitike. The performances have been there. We have to look at that for strikers. Stop looking at points and start looking at chances and form, how they're playing, and eye test and XG. And it's all been there for Ekitike. It's all looked good for the last few weeks. And the Champions League's been amazing. So look, I'm very, very glad. I'm very, very glad that I kept him, and he's absolutely staying in the team for a long time. We have to speak about Wirtz too. But look, 1.95 XG versus 0.33. Again, Liverpool conceding Didn't concede many XG, but still conceded a goal. And if you own Virgil, it's frustrating, but you still got your DEFCON. Szoboszlai played right back. Torres regen. I like that, Nikolai. Yeah, that was a Torres goal. The second one. We knew Szoboszlai would play right back with the injuries. Szoboszlai right back frees up Wirtz to play 10 rather than seeing Wirtz on the left. And Wirtz was outstanding as the 10. Thanks to you, I kept Ekitike. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Szoboszlai, by the way, got DEFCON and he got bonus. That is super impressive. When you win 2-0 and you don't get a goal or an assist, sorry, when you win 2-1, you don't get a goal, assist, or clean sheet, and you still get DEFCON, that's pretty good going. That's pretty good going. So fair play. He got the DEFCON, as did obviously Virgil van Dijk, all from clearances. I think it was 13. And that's how Liverpool lined up. Wirtz as the 10 looks really good. Salah is just not a buy at this point. If you're buying Liverpool attack, you're buying Wirtz. You might even still buy Szoboszlai. He easily could have got that assist for Konate. It comes off gets two different touches before it lands to Konate from Szoboszlai's corner. But Szoboszlai, again, was outstanding yesterday. So good to watch. Set pieces are amazing. He's an all-action hero. When he plays right back, you get DEFCON. I've just sold him off the back of a 13-pointer. I sold him. And I said, I don't want to sell him because he's a really good player. But sometimes in FPL, you have to sell good players to buy better players. And I just felt like with Szoboszlai, there was better out there. I thought Morgan Rogers was a better pick. Might be wrong on that. Liverpool fixtures are good enough. It's Man City next, so we don't love that. But after that, you get Sunderland, Forest, West Ham and Wolves. And we might all be going, oh, let's buy another Liverpool player. I'm definitely keeping my 2 for sure. Love that bench boost so far, Luke. Love that. Krupi came up huge for you. 247,000 managers did sell Ekitike. Hope you lot weren't many of them. And look, this is why points last week don't matter too much. Blank, injured, blank 22, blank 23, 2 goals 24. And maybe this is a run because in the Champions League, he's scoring goals too. Guys, I would love you to subscribe this morning if you fancy. Hit the like button as well. It massively boosts the algorithm if you just go like and hype. Or just like. I don't even know if the hype works. Enzo plans, by the way. We'll talk about Enzo when I show you my team in a minute. Thank you for voting in the poll. A new member as well. Weather Cookie, thank you very much for becoming a member. You're going to get to see all my extra content. I'll do probably 4 members-only videos this week. And if you've ever got a question, just ask me and I will always answer, either on a comment or in the live chat. The benefits of being a member. Hugo, love that, G-Wiz. I'm guessing you own Ekitike. My team, I'm going to slight green arrow, but I've only had 5. All my players have had a return, I think. Raya, Virgil, Gabriel, Enzo. Yeah, I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 players and captains. I'm hoping for a really good week. The only player that can really hurt me is Haaland. Thiago can hurt me. Yeah, love the Liverpool win. So yeah, in terms of my team, Bruno's just joining. And if you're just joining, I'm sorry, guys. I've just gone through all of the games. I'm about to say, well, yeah, I've only got 5 minutes left. Listen to the tennis and take, yeah, of course, the tennis. Yeah, damn. I forgot how early the tennis is. Was it 7:30 start? Yeah, so look, Enzo, 75% of you already own him. 12% are buying soon. 14% aren't interested. I think he's such an obvious buy right now. Cole Palmer for those selling Saka might be of interest, but I just worry about the minutes. But if he gets... Cole Palmer's not going to start versus Arsenal, is he? He played 90 yesterday. I think against Arsenal, Palmer probably gets 30 and you go, oh, I can bring him in for Wolves. And then after that, I should get 1, if not 2 starts at home to Leeds and Burnley, is it? I see why people would go there. My thoughts are all centered around Saka this week. And I'll do my early thoughts video, which will be out 6 a.m. Monday morning. So stay tuned for that. I'll speak about where I'm going, the direction I'm moving in. But I did use my 2 transfers. I sold Szoboszlai for Rodgers and I sold Lewis Potter for Maguire. I've still got possibly an O'Reilly problem. Let's see how that looks. The bench is a little thin, but I don't mind too much about the bench. I've always got a good first sub. Second and third subs aren't up to much. But when do you ever need your second and third sub? It's pretty damn rare. So yeah, Saka to Rodgers will be popular for those that don't own Rodgers. Do you know what it will be? It will be Saka to whoever steps up today. If Mbermo goes and bags a brace, if Semenyo does the same, if Rodgers does the same, whichever midfielder really puts their hand up today, because there's very good options playing today, I think there'll be a lot of Saka to that player. If Arsenal get the double, though, you're going to want triple Arsenal. If you're selling Saka, you surely just go Rice. You just go Rice because you're going to want triple Arsenal if they double in 26. So again, no one make their Saka decision until we've seen game week 20, until we've seen Chelsea versus Arsenal play out on Tuesday night. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're just tuning in, go back and watch the games you want. I'm going to timestamp them all now. So if you want to just watch one game's analysis, just go to that timestamp. If you're watching on catch up, thank you. My transfer plans video will be out Monday morning, 6 a.m. Do not miss that one. Thank you for joining. As always, everyone that does on catch up in the live, I will see you in the next. Enjoy your Sundays and good luck today.